What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Tuesday, April 27th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Christian Wood, Kelly Olynyk, Robert Williams, if he plays, Damian Lillard, and Armoni Brooks on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we're grabbing some value. We're going to the power forward spot and taking Jalen McDaniels. He's 3,600, projected for 22. The goal is 34.5. He's in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. Now, I do not expect Jaden McDaniels to be here all day. I think that as value opens up from injuries and people being ruled out, that he will slide down. But we just simply don't have a lot of pay down options, and there's a lot to like at the top. So for now, we're looking at Jaden McDaniels, and we're trying to buy some cheap minutes. 32 minutes here, 0.7 fantasy points per minute. That is not fun to roster all that much. 13% usage, basically 10 points and 5 boards with one of everything else. It is a fantastic matchup against Houston, however. This is a slight pace-up spot for Minnesota. Houston's defense is really bad. This is the type of game where I think that McDaniels can get a little bit extra. But again, I would think that he would be more likely to be significantly lower than 5th than to move higher than 5th right now. Not to say that he would ever go away as a value option. He's certainly going to be a pay-down guy no matter what today. I think we'll just see bigger priorities as we make our way through the day. Next up at number 4, we're grabbing point guard, shooting guard eligible Kevin Porter Jr. He's 6,500, projected for 36. The goal's 45. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. Porter should step right into John Wall's role. We've seen Kevin Porter run the offense when John Wall is gone previously. I expect that to happen now. So I gave him 32 minutes, north of a fantasy point per minute, something in the neighborhood of 1.1 if we're being perfectly honest. 26% usage, 17.5 points, 7.5 assists. He takes a massive assist bump when all of the normal ball handlers are not on the floor. Plus 4 rebounds, plus a steal, and a pace-up spot against the Minnesota Timberwolves. They gained 2.7 possessions over their average. Minnesota's defense is really bad. This is a fantastic matchup. You're going to see a lot of Rockets and Timberwolves involved in high ownership plays because there's no way around it. It's two bad teams that have to play 240 minutes apiece with some actual value options and quality at really nice price points. I love it. So I'm loading up on Kevin Porter. You've already seen Jaden McDaniels, Armoni Brooks, Kelly Olynyk, Christian Wood. We're cornering the market on Timberwolves and Rockets here. But we're taking a brief break from Timberwolves and Rockets, going to number 3. That's shooting guard, small forward eligible Jalen Brown. He's 8,400, projected for 46.5. The goal's 51. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. We'll start with stuff that's just irrelevant, really. Shooting guard, small forward eligible. On this 6-game slate, it matters that he's a Swiss Army knife, and you guys know how much I love it, but we like Jalen Brown for a very different reason than his position. They could put him anywhere today, and he would be one of the best plays. 34 minutes with no Kemba Walker and no Jason Tatum means Jalen Brown's rates go to the moon. I've got him at 1.37 DraftKings points per minute for this game. 35% usage. Yeah, he gains like 9% usage additional with those guys being off. 28 real points for Jalen Brown. 5.5 rebounds, almost 5 assists. He sees a massive assist rate bump as well, plus a steal. So basically 2 stocks in a pace-up spot against the tankiest team that ever tanked, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not trying to win, not even remotely close. They've been getting bludgeoned over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and there's a decent chance that they continue to get bludgeoned as we move forward. The blowout is a legitimate concern, but not one that's changing anything for me. Jalen Brown, with no Kemba and no Jason Tatum, is unquestionably a top 5 play today, all day. Now we're going back to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Point guard, shooting guard eligible DAngelo Russell. He's 6,300, projected for 37. The goal is 44. He's in the optimal lineup 27% of the time. Russell's playing about 30 minutes a game, and I think that at some point in time might go up a little bit. I don't know if it does, considering they have nothing to play for. But 30 minutes of DAngelo Russell at a 1.23 fantasy point per minute rate makes him the second best play of the day. That's 30% usage, 22 real points, 5 assists, 3 boards, and a matchup against Houston that is not really capable of stopping him. He should feel like this is a great spot to get some offense in. Both he and Edwards and Towns look great today. They are guys that I want to roster because that is where all of the offense comes from Minnesota. I'm going to bet on Russell getting those shots. I'm going to bet on a lot of those shots going in simply because of how bad the Houston defense is. So DAngelo Russell, not something I expected when I woke up this morning, but DAngelo Russell is the number 2 contender. Now, before we get to that number 1 spot, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to Twitter at Josh Engleman. That's the spot you want to follow. It's the only place that you can get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, underneath this video, in the comment section, who's your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the guy that you think should be on this contenders list that you do not see. Now, he's got a Q tag, but for now, I'm assuming he's playing. That would be center eligible Goga Batadze. He's just $4,000, 27.5 point projection, 36 point goal. Optimal lineup, more than anybody else, 31%. Now, we don't know if he's going to be playing. He's been out with an ankle injury, but he is questionable. So I'm going to assume that he is in for right now, and I'm only giving him 24 minutes at 1.14 fantasy points per minute. To get that guy as a, what I would imagine, starting center in this spot against Portland, I love it. 19% usage, it's 11 points, 7 boards, you get an assist, 2.4 blocks, which is the big piece here. It's a slight pace down spot against Portland, but that's not what we're worried about. If we knew that Goga was starting and this was a couple days ago, leading into this, he just wouldn't be 4K. He'd be like 5,100 or something along those lines. He's just simply underpriced for what he would do if he is able to play in this game. He's going to be very popular if we know that he is in because of the price tag. It's a tough matchup against Nurk at this point. Yusuf Nurkic is really good, but in order to find value on this slate, you got to find it in different spots, and that's why Jalen McDaniels is ranked so high. A 4K starting center at a 1.14 fantasy point per minute rate, that's what you need on this 6-gamer to be the number 1 contender. Shout out to Goga Batadze. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Tuesday, April 27th. The FanDuel version of this video is already done. Go check it out. Process show already in the books. Go watch that one. We broke down all 6 games. I'll be on the strategy show with Lofty today at 10 a.m. and then that is it. I'm done. No live before lock. So you need to keep your eyes peeled to my Twitter. Good luck tonight, everybody. Have some fun. I will see you guys again tomorrow for another edition of the Contenders.